practice today. We just kind of cleaned up some things from camp and went a little lighter than usual today, and really just wrapped up some corrections from the scrimmage from yesterday, and just cleaning up things, and we'll get started on Western tomorrow. So overall, pretty mellow day. You know, wasn't a whole lot of much to talk about as far as anything major happening out there today. Just some basic cleanup work.
Mark, does this team have a best player, or if so, who is it, and if not, who are some guys that you would say are in the running for that?
Well, we feel like we have some good quarterbacks. You know, that's why there's been good competition through camp, and yeah, I think we have some good players. I think Raymond may be a guy that I think we expect a lot out of him.
You called this a basic cleanup day, so does this mean this team is at the point to where it can have just cleanup days where the offense is that good and defense is that good to where it's just refining the small things?
Yep, that's where it's at.
Yesterday you said Timmons was a guy who might be competing for a starting spot. Are there other freshmen who are pushing to start right now?
Pardon me?
You said Timmons yesterday might start.
A lot of the wideouts, they're going to play. You know, whether they start and all that, we'll figure it out. We're still battling through that. So.
Mark, you weren't happy with the defense yesterday, and DJ mentioned tackling. When you looked at the video, did anything stick out at you?
Position on the football. A big part of being a good tackling team is having great position on the ball, great leverage, and everybody being where they're supposed to be. Usually, great team defense are usually pretty good tacklers, and you know, we need some work. We need work in our position on the football and understanding the defenses, and then the ability to tackle once they get in that space.
Has that been a consistent issue for you in this camp, or was that something that sort of surprised you because it had been better?
It's been better. It's nowhere, you know, I mean, we're a work in progress. You know, so we have to have great position on the football. If we play with great energy and we play with a lot of passion and we play very hard and we're in the right spot, you got a chance. Without that, you have no chance. So.
Do you like playing an arch rival at the end of the year now that you can play a little? If you had your druthers, is that ideal for you, not ideal?
I guess so. I mean, why not? I just left a pretty good rivalry at the end of the year. You know, the Florida State game is pretty big, pretty good deal at the end of the year, and from my understanding, that was what was best for both conferences. So that'll be great. That'll be a lot of fun.
Neil mentioned that Bud was somebody who gave the offense fits in spring football. Who's causing problems for the offense now in spring? Still Bud?
Yeah, Bud's active. We've missed the last couple of weeks. That's slowed down some of that activity, but Bud, I'd say, is the most active guy up front, and in the perimeter. You know, there's been nobody just jumping out making a bunch of plays. I think we've seen some improvement, but like I said, we've got a lot of work to do.
Do you feel like you've got some answers at those outside linebacker spots, or will that be something that has to be figured out maybe in game?
Yeah, I mean, we've got some work to do on the perimeter. I've said that all since I've been here, so we need to continue to work.
Is Darius or Cody or Zach Myers back yet, or is
not yet. They weren't out there today.
How much better does it make your offensive line to play against your defensive front?
I've been impressed. I thought we've just done a solid job. Really, once we get into our injuries and things like that on the defensive side of the ball, it kind of limits us some. But when we're healthy, I think both sides of the line of scrimmage are in decent shape. You know, there's not the depth that we're talking about, but I thought they've done some good things blocking this camp.
Mark, you said now you start getting ready for Western. How do you balance with the new coach looking at Petrino video compared with looking at the personnel of Western from last year?
Yeah,
even though it's a different system.
We'll get started on that tonight, and but yes, that definitely comes to mind. I want to say both coordinators have had a lot of time to kind of reinvent themselves if they choose, and they're both outstanding coordinators, and they've had a lot of time to put new packages and new wrinkles together, so it will be somewhat of an unknown. I think both of them have some staples that they've done throughout their career and been very successful, so we'll have to prepare for a lot of things.
Have you guys done much reinvention?
And the good thing is with our offense, they've done a lot, whether it be through spring and through here, trying to always look for new wrinkles and So we've seen a lot of different styles through camp. What was that, Kyle?
Just how much have your coordinators reinvented from what the
I think you're
opposition
always,
would see on
you're
film?
always trying to grow. You know, we as coaches are always trying to improve and put our players in a position to be successful. So, you know, I think there's always some of that. You know, I could go back to my first year at Florida State. We went through all training camp, all spring ball the year before my first year there, all through training camp, and I want to say it was the second game of the year, and you probably heard me tell that story before, but we went in the second game of the year and absolutely got gutted by Oklahoma, and we changed that week in certain parts of our defense with leverage and just subtle things that maybe it's not like we went from a 3-4 to a 4-3 or something like that, but we changed, and so you have to do what you have to do to put your team in a position to win.
Have you seen anything different from Max and Jalen now that they know that, are they carrying themselves differently now that they've kind of survived that first competition?
I think I've been impressed with all three guys, the way they've handled themselves through the whole process, and they've done a nice job of just kind of putting their head down and going to work. And the only thing, and I've been hit with this question, throughout camp, is that one guy and helping develop him as a leader. And I think that is the one negative to playing all three guys for as long as we did. And but other than that, they've all just put their head down and done the best they could and had a great attitude. And whatever quarterback is in there, their teammates support them.
Did Nate Willis participate today?
Yes.
Folks, very good. All right.
Thank you.
Okay.